I think Usman is right now one of the best lightweight in the world. You know, I was before, now is our brother Islam, and Usman is next. And you know, this is dynasty. I think many years people gonna talk and they don't even understand why.
Gone are the days when the Nurmagomedov name was synonymous only with wrestling domination. The new generation, led by the undefeated Umar and his younger brother Usman, can stand toe-to-toe with the world's best strikers as effortlessly as they grapple. The UFC bantamweight is an all-rounder, but his younger and lesser-known sibling is significantly better, according to their coach, who calls Usman the upgraded version of Khabib. So, before the undefeated Bellator champ goes out there and smashes his next foe, let's recap his incredible rise. Born on April 17, 1998 in Kyzylt, Dagestan, Usman Nurmagomedov began his combat sports journey with freestyle wrestling at the age of 8, alongside his brother Umar Nurmagomedov. Umar would later take up Thai boxing as well, and his younger brother would follow suit. After spending their early years honing their skills in Kyzylt, the Nurmagomedov brothers moved to Makhachkala to train under the guidance of their uncle and Khabib's father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, at the Eagles MMA camp. Over time, both Umar and Usman refined their sambo techniques alongside their cousin Khabib and Islam Makhachev, all while adding a whole new dimension to Dagestani dominance with their striking prowess. By 2016, both young prospects were primed to take the MMA world by storm. Umar kicked off his journey at bantamweight in December 2016, when he submitted his opponent with a guillotine choke in the second round. Less than 3 months later, Usman made his professional debut at featherweight, finishing the job with a TKO in less than 2 minutes. In the year of Usman's debut, he didn't step into the cage again, as he helped his elder brother set the arenas on fire by competing 4 times, with 3 of those bouts taking place under the Fight Nights global banner in Russia. Umar won all 4 fights in a dominant fashion.
Реагирует на попадание. Спортсмен, рефери имеет право остановить бой и засчитать поражение техническим нокаутом. Внимателен Ян Ваборник. Все, бой остановлен. Досрочно.
In 2018, Usman bagged his first major opportunity at Brave Combat Federation 21, delivering a striking clinic against Issei Moriyama. Before putting his sambo skills to good use to stop his foe. Despite his big win, Usman continued to play second fiddle to his elder brother, Umar, who earned his first bantamweight title shot against Fahidin Sobirov at the Samara MMA Federation in the summer of 2018. Sobirov was undoubtedly the toughest challenger Umar had encountered by then, but his skill set posed little threat to the Dagestani. Sobirov focused heavily on takedowns, but got lit up on the feet for a significant portion of the fight. Umar would switch gears later in the fight and take the action to the ground, where his dominance would earn him a world title. In 2019, both Umar and Usman shined brightly in the cage. Umar racked up 3 successful title defenses, which ultimately earned him a contract with the UFC. Meanwhile, Usman put himself on the map with a series of impressive finishes that narrowed the gap between him and his brother. Usman's first victim in 2019 was Romeo Ngia, who was battered on the mat with vicious ground and pound, before being put away with a rear naked choke. A couple more wins later, Usman decimated Kazim Jakangirov in his move up to lightweight, rattling his foe with a straight right hand and pounding him on the mat, before cutting off his blood supply with a guillotine choke. Usman added another win to his record when he flew to Abu Dhabi and faced the sturdy Roman Golovanov, who boasted a solid 9-3 record. Unfazed by Usman's reputation, the Ukrainian attempted to dictate the pace early on, but the Dagestani nullified his offense with pinpoint counterattacks that left the crowd buzzing. With his opponent visibly shaken after the first few counters, Usman went for the kill and sent him to the dark lands in less than 2 minutes. In 2020, both Umar and Usman were poised to elevate their game, but only Usman could work his magic. Umar faced a series of setbacks that delayed his UFC debut 3 times. First, due to an event cancellation, then the tragic passing of Usman Nurmagomedov, and finally an injury. With Umar sidelined, Usman took it upon himself to honor the family legacy, stepping into the cage at Guerrilla Fighting Championship in February 2020 to deliver another stunner against undefeated Ruslan Tuyakov. The first round was a nail-biter, with neither fighter gaining a clear edge. But as the fight progressed, Usman began to find his rhythm with his trademark snappy kicks that left his opponent on the defensive. It didn't take long for Tuyakov to go into survival mode with takedowns, but his attempts were easily thwarted by the Dagestani, who punctuated his defense with a solid knee to the body. With Ruslan badly hurt, Usman added a buffet of knees to the body that folded his foe in half. 4 months later, Usman, the godfather of Dagestani MMA, passed away. But instead of pulling out of his scheduled bout against Yuri Kvarnstrom at UAE Warriors 12, Usman went ahead with the aim to honor his late coach. Usman wasted no time in going for the win, immediately pushing Jerry back with insane pressure and cracking him with a swift kick. From there, Usman rained down hellish blows to force his opponent to cover up until the referee put him out of his misery. Usman capped out an uber-successful 2020 with another demolition against Sviatoslav Shabanov. The first round was closely contested, with Usman patiently picking his shots. However, in the second round, the Dagestani started to chip away with calf kicks. Each strike chipped away at his opponent's foundation until Usman unleashed a final flurry of shots, securing a decisive victory dedicated to Abdulmanap's memory. In 2021, Usman Nurmagomedov took a significant step forward by signing with Bellator, making his entry into a major US-based promotion. That same year, he and his elder brother Umar, who had joined the UFC, made their debuts on the American stage. Umar took the initiative with a submission win over Sergey Morozov in January 2021, and 3 months later, Usman entered the Bellator cage to test himself against Mike Hamill. From the word go, Usman moved effortlessly around the cage, utilizing a wide array of strikes to keep his opponents at bay. Despite the American's relentless forward pressure in search of a knockout blow, Usman's sharp distance management and well-timed body kicks kept him firmly in control. With precision and patience, he chipped away at his rival round after round, ultimately securing a dominant, unanimous decision victory. While Umar would spend the rest of 2021 on the sidelines due to injury, Usman would return 4 months later, facing Manny Muro. After exchanging strikes early on, Usman shifted gears to his grappling game, wasting no time in taking Muro down and searching for a submission. Muro managed to scramble back to his feet, but only to meet a fight-ending brutal knee to the body that had him folding in half. 3 months later, Usman returned to the cage to feature in Bellator's inaugural event in Russia, where he faced Patrick Pietila, who was taken down and systematically dismantled from the word go. After brutalizing his foe with crushing ground and pound, Usman transitioned to Pietila's back, where he patiently hunted for a choke. The Dagestani ultimately got his hooks in and cut off the blood supply. 2022 was a fantastic year for the two brothers, as both fought and won twice. Umar beat Brian Kelleher and Nate Maness, while Usman beat Chris Gonzalez to earn a lightweight title shot at Bellator 288, where he faced the stone-handed Patricky Pitbull Freire. Usman took control right from the start, keeping his opponent constantly on edge with powerful kicks. Even on the ground, Usman had the upper hand with razor-sharp elbows that sliced through Pitbull's defense like a hot knife through butter. Usman continued to dominate the Brazilian over the course of 5 rounds, both on the feet and on the mat, to add a Bellator title to the Nurmagomedov trophy cabinet. Watching his younger brother soar to new heights only stoked the flames of ambition in Umar. Fueled by that motivation, the elder Nurmagomedov launched into 2023 with a bang, delivering a thunderous knockout of Raoni Barcelos at a UFC fight night. Just 2 months later, in March 2023, Usman showcased his UFC caliber when he faced former lightweight champion Benson Henderson in his first title defense in the quarterfinals of the Bellator Lightweight World Grand Prix. Seconds into the fight, Usman dropped Henderson with a sniper-like switch kick. And after a couple of minutes of ground and pound, he choked the legendary lightweight out to stamp his authority on the division. Usman met Brent Primus in the semifinals of the tournament late in 2023, and although he won by a dominant decision, the fight was ruled a no contest after the Dagestani tested positive for a banned substance in a prescription drug. Nurmagomedov was banned for 6 months, but the unintentional nature of the test resulted in Nurmagomedov keeping his belt. In the meantime, Umar did his work in the UFC, beating Beksat Almakan and Corey Sandhagen to solidify himself as the #1 contender at bantamweight. A month after Umar's win over Sandhagen in August 2024, Usman returned to the cage and dominated Alexander Shabli to secure his second title defense. At just 26 and 28 years old, Usman and Umar Nurmagomedov are ready to light up the fight world. The elder Umar is already knocking at the door of UFC glory. Meanwhile, Usman bides his time, waiting for the moment Islam Makhachev rides into the sunset so he could dive into the UFC lightweight Shark Tank and rip the world's best to shreds. Abdulmanap would be so proud up there. Are Umar and Usman destined for greatness like their cousin Khabib? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on those notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.